So I'm off to Ottawa to meet with a few organizations, but also to meet with our print partner. So we're gonna take a tour of the mail house, show you how it works, show you how direct mail fundraising is produced, and also answer some of your questions when it comes to direct mail production. So come along, here we go. So here's a bit of fundraising in the wild. It says, be part of change, donate today, and the logo of the organization. And I hope they're getting this space donated because it's really vague. I don't know what it means to be part of change. That could be anything. There's no, it says donate today, but there's no actual like QR code or link to give or anything else that would tell me how I might do that. There's the logo of the organization, but the name and logo doesn't actually tell you what it is. So unfortunately, unless somebody is super motivated to figure out what this actually is, I'm afraid they might not be getting a lot of bang for their buck here. Of course, the ad could just be a pure brand awareness play. Maybe all they want is for people to start knowing who the organization is. Even in that case, I still think there's better use of that real estate by at least making people that walk by problem aware or knowing what you do, what problem you solve, what solution you provide. Finished all my meetings with a bunch of organizations. Sorry I couldn't take you along, but now we are heading to the print house. And this is the mail house that we use for all of our appeals, all of our fundraising comms that we help clients put out. So if you're a client of BuildGood, let me show you where everything happens. So we're here at BMR, which is our official print partner. Most of our clients work with BMR. And in addition to giving you a tour, we'll also ask Paul, who runs the shop, some questions about direct mail. All right, we're here at BMR.
John Rumble.
And this is
Paul.
These guys run the place and they do the direct mail for all of our clients. And it's hundreds and thousands of pieces per year. And they keep it all on track and going out on time and looking good. Yeah. You want to show us around?
Yes, we happen to have 3 of our handwriting machines running. So one of the services we provide for our customers is a handwriting service. So a lot of our customers are using this for their high-end donors and also for their legacy packages. We have 3 black engines and 3 color engines. Black engines are used for very large jobs where like here's a 70,000 piece mailing and it's more cost effective to do an offset shell and then overprint just the black. And then when we get into the smaller lists, kind of like 20,000 and under, then we start using our color engines. So the color engines, we're just putting, you know, the white paper in, right, and doing everything one stop kind of shop. Envelope printing, we have 2 smaller envelope printers here that will do the full bleed and everything. Over here we have our folders, right? So whatever we print, we have to cut and fold to appropriate size. This is our newest envelope printer here. So as you can see, much larger, robust, runs at higher speeds, better equipped to run higher volume. So we have redundancy in terms of if one breaks down or they both do the same thing. This one actually has an inline addressing machine on it too. So we can actually insert and address the piece in one shot on this one. A personalized coupon. A generic buck slip, a second generic buck slip, a BRE, a generic lift note, a personalized letter with a personalized envelope. They're all getting collated on top of each other, inserted in the envelope. Cameras are reading the fancy sequence numbers here, and the software is saying if they all match, you keep running your machine, and if they don't match, it will stop the machine. Now we have Mike and John and Paul mixed up in the same envelope. We have a jet of water spraying on the flaps. We close the flaps, we turn the envelope over, and then we're putting it in the bins.
All right, we got a bunch of questions about printing.
Okay.
Closed envelope versus window envelope.
Minimal cost. Really do what's going to raise you the most money. You're not saving a lot of money by choosing one over the other.
A lot of people think that to do first class postage, so this is first class postage, it's an actual stamp, makes the DM a lot more personal, but most people go for a printed indicia rather than a first class postage. We often recommend people at least split out major donors, higher net worth individuals, maybe legacy givers, maybe even monthly givers to get a first class postage. People don't know this is possible at mass. But can you apply these to a mailing of, say, 10,000?
Absolutely. We apply stamps just like they were stickers with automated machines.
Another question, number 10 envelope, which is the most common kind of envelope that we all get in the mail, versus like a 9x6, which is a bit of a different format. A lot of people think, oh, we got to go with the number 10 because it's cheapest.
Again, minimal cost increase to upsize to that bigger size envelope. Also some efficiencies, you can put your BRE into the larger envelope without folding it.
Personalizing direct mail, a Dear John letter, but what about using John on the second page and the third page and the fourth page, and then having John's name and address lasered onto the reply coupon? That's like a 3-way or a 4-way match. Oftentimes people think it's a huge cost differential. That's why they don't do it.
Once again, it is a little bit more money, but not a huge increase. The automated equipment that's inserting has cameras on it, so whether we're matching 2 pieces or 3 pieces, it's not a difference for us, so minimal upcharge.
Last year and the year before, we had like a paper shortage, an envelope shortage. We were working with clients quite a bit ahead, moving up the timelines to make sure you could source enough stock. How are things looking now?
The paper situation is almost completely back to pre-COVID. We no longer have any issues acquiring any paper or envelope stock right now, and paper prices are starting to fall as are envelope prices.
What's the difference between laser printing and offset printing?
Offset printing is done on a larger scale with larger sheets at higher speeds, but can only produce generic sheets. Every sheet is the same. For large runs, you would go to the offset process, leaving blank areas, and then overprint your variable in black. Smaller runs, you would just do laser printing or variable printing straight up.
Yeah. So anytime there's personalization or a variable field that has been lasered on, if it's a large mailing, it's been lasered onto a shell that was printed offset.
Correct.
Okay. At what point does it make sense to go to offset? Is it at 5,000, at 10,000, at 20,000 pieces? Like at what point does it become more cost effective to go offset?
Currently with the costing of offset versus variable printing, anything over 10,000 sheets, you might start hitting a tipping point, definitely over 20. What you do have to remember when you're in that kind of close range, 10 to 20,000, you're going to save anywhere between 5 and 10 days in the production cycle by not going the offset route.
Right. So offset takes more time because it dries longer as well, right? And then it comes back to you, then you got to laser it on you.
Correct.
Okay.
You have to do it in a 2-step process. You have to produce the offset shell through a particular process, cut it down to size, and then run it again through a secondary printing process, which is your digital printers.
Gotcha. Back to outer envelopes. How creative can people get with the outer envelope without the cost rising too much? So can we print on the back flap? Can we print on the back of the envelope? Can we do a full color envelope?
You can put any design you desire on the envelope as long as you're leaving an area to put an indicia for Canada Post, and an area to put your address block so that the processing equipment can read the address at Canada Post. For envelopes, you are going to pay based on your ink coverage. So the more ink coverage on your envelope, the higher your cost.
Does placement matter? So something on the back flap versus the back of the envelope at the bottom?
No. Placement is no consequence for us in terms of being able to produce that speed.
Okay. We know that full page reply devices perform better than a tear-off reply slip at the bottom of a letter, for example. But it is an extra full page. In terms of price differential, on a mailing of 10,000, what are we looking at?
Straight up paper cost, 10,000 sheets of 8.5, 11 are going to cost you maybe $300.
Yeah. We know a lot of donors are conscious of the environment, so are a lot of charities. More and more people are looking at more recycled ways of doing things. If we are choosing to say, hey, you know what, we really want to use more recycled paper in our direct mail, what are our options?
I think people need to remember that paper as a material is the most recycled product that we have in society. We have a very good system to recycle paper. Everybody recycles their paper, and it's very easily reused in the manufacturing of other paper products. So very little paper actually goes to landfill. If someone absolutely wants recycled paper, all of our paper suppliers offer different levels of recycled content in their paper, from 10% or 30% up to 100% recyclable fibers in their paper.
On a cost differential between just your standard stock all the way up to 100% recycled paper, and what are we looking at? Is the 100% recycled paper twice as expensive? 3 times as expensive?
I would say from the straight up paper cost, maybe about 25%.
25% more expensive?
Yes.
For the 100% recycled paper?
Correct.
Okay. A lot of people don't know that paper in general, any paper mill, any manufacturer is making paper in a very sustainable way already. Can you tell us more about that a little bit?
We probably have all known people when they're young adults going and planting trees as summer jobs. The paper companies probably 200 years ago realized they had to plant more trees than they were harvesting to sustain their livelihoods.
Yeah.
Right? So the sustainability of paper is kind of like a redundant question, and has been for decades in North America.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
That's it for this video. That's it for me. I'm headed home. I've got one more flight left. It was a great trip. Hey, this whole video is kind of an experiment. New piece of content we're trying. Is this something that you're interested in? We thought it'd be cool to take you along to the mail house and actually see how direct mail fundraising gets produced in the shop. So let me know what you thought of this. Would you like to see more of this kind of stuff? I am headed home. I'm on the last leg. Had a good couple of days of meetings, and always good to see our print partners as well. Bye for now.